Before the courtroom even settles, we're already stepping into a legal battlefield where confusion, defiance, and authority collide. This isn't your typical calm first appearance. This is a judge trying to establish basic identity and jurisdiction, while the defendant pushes back with unconventional language, legal resistance, and what appears to be deliberate non-cooperation. From the very first exchange, you can feel the tension rising. The court is not just asking, "Who are you?" but "Will you comply with the system at all?" And when that question isn't answered clearly, things escalate fast. What happens when a judge loses patience with procedural games? And how far can a defendant push before the system pushes back harder? Watch closely, because every word in this courtroom is a test of control, authority, and consequences.
You're appearing here today.
By special appearance.
I understand what you're doing and what you're trying to do. It's not going to help you a single bit in court to try to play these games.
And child subject matter jurisdiction, going on the record.
Okay, what does that mean?
Overstaying.
You just determined to use different words and be difficult, aren't you? Good morning. Are you Nasir Brown?
I'm not here today on special appearance.
I'm sorry, speak up so I can hear you.
Here today
You're appearing here today.
by special appearance.
Okay, what is your name?
I'm a third party intervener on behalf of artificial legal entity, not said right.
Okay. At one point in your at some point in your life prior to being this third party, were you Nasir Brown?
No,
You're not him.
I'm a third party intervener.
So here's the thing. If you don't tell me your name, I'm going to put you in custody for not cooperating this morning. I'm not going to hold on. I understand what you're doing and what you're trying to do. It's not going to help you a single bit in court to try to play these games.
That's relative.
What we're seeing here is a classic courtroom clash between formal legal procedure and so-called alternative legal identity arguments. The defendant is attempting to redefine themselves outside the court's standard identification framework, which immediately creates friction with the judge's requirement for clarity and jurisdictional control. But in real legal terms, the court cannot proceed without establishing identity. This isn't optional. It's foundational. That's why the judge repeatedly pushes back, refusing to entertain vague or non-standard responses. The warning about custody isn't just emotion, it's enforcement power. When a judge says cooperation is required, they're not negotiating. They're establishing authority over the proceeding. So the real question here is the defendant misunderstanding the system or intentionally testing its limits? And in a courtroom, that difference can completely change the outcome.
So are you Nasir Lewis Brown, or have you been him at some point in your life or not?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to call you by Mr. Brown because I'm not going to say all the words that you just said, because you have now identified yourself as Nasir Lewis Brown. And so, Mr. Brown, this is your initial appearance, and you have two cases. And cause number 26, I just asked you not to speak over me. So here's the thing, Mr. Brown. I'm going to be very patient.
And at the child subject matter jurisdiction, going on the record.
Your challenge of the subject matter jurisdiction is overruled. Let me go through what I need to go through, okay? So this is your initial appearance, your first day in court. I'm required to go through what you're charged with by indictment. In cause number 26, DCCR 0322, you're charged with a third-degree felony offense of assault family violence by impeding breath or circulation from February 16th of 2026. And then in cause number 26, DCCR 0323, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of injury to a child, and that's from February 16th of 2026.
Now the tone shifts from identity confusion to serious legal gravity. The judge lays out the formal charges, felony-level allegations, including assault involving family violence and injury to a child. These are not minor accusations. They carry significant sentencing exposure and long-term consequences if proven. At this stage, the court also shifts into procedural fairness. The defendant is given time to seek legal counsel, which is a critical constitutional right. But notice the conditions attached to this isn't freedom without structure. The court is already setting behavioral expectations, warning that failure to comply with attorney search requirements could lead to bond increases and even jail. This is where courtroom reality becomes very real. Cooperation isn't optional if you want to stay out of custody while the case moves forward. The stakes are no longer theoretical. They are immediate, enforceable, and
And so since you have made bond and got out of jail on your cases, have you had an opportunity to try to hire a lawyer?
Is this what I'm saying?
Speak up so I can.
Up and down.
It's been up and down?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Brown, is I'm just like everyone else, I'm resetting your case about 30 days to give you some time to try to hire a lawyer. You need to try to get someone hired before the next court date. If you do, just bring the reset notice that you get today to that lawyer and they'll tell you what to do. If you're unable to hire someone before the next court date, then I'm ordering you to visit with at least 3 lawyers. They all charge different amounts, they have different payment plans. Bring me back the names of the lawyers that you've talked to so I know you're trying and we'll discuss your options. If you don't do that, then when you come back, you run the risk of me raising your bond for not following that court order and you would go back to jail. Do you understand? I'm sorry?
Overstay.
Say it again.
Overstay.
You overstand?
Yes.
Okay. What does that mean?
Overstay.
Do you understand what I'm saying, sir?
I'll block.
You'll oblige.
I'll block. Yeah.
Okay. You just determined to use different words and be difficult, aren't you?
No.
Okay. So as a condition of your bond, did you have a condition that you were not to have any contact or communication with the complaining witnesses in each of these cases, right? Okay. And so I want to make sure you understand the importance of that. And that if you do have any contact or communication with either of them, it would be a violation of that bond condition. If I find out your bond would be raised and you would go back to jail. Do you understand that as well?
Overstay.
You overstand.
Stay.
I'm going to guess that overstand is even better than understand. So you definitely know what I'm talking about, right? So we don't have any miscommunication today. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
What we just witnessed is a textbook example of how courtroom control is maintained under pressure. The judge balances patience with authority, first attempting clarification, then issuing warnings, then enforcing structure through bond conditions and legal obligations. Despite repeated resistance in communication style, the court still proceeds methodically. Charges are read, rights are preserved, and next steps are clearly imposed. But the underlying tension remains compliance versus confrontation. This case now moves into the next phase where legal representation becomes critical, and failure to comply with court orders could directly impact custody status. It's a reminder that in court, language doesn't override procedure structure, always wins in the end. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.